You
Also,
want to
we
get
can talk
rid
about
of the
actual war in
internal
Iran that's raising our
combustion
gas
engines.
prices. No, I don't. Who told you that?
That's what the Green
My
New
dad
Deal
came to America
says.
to design internal combustion engines. I'm not going to defend the Green New Deal. What I'm telling you, though, is that we could make a whole
You're
lot
on the
more
record
amazing
as
jobs if we
backing
actually
the Green
invested
New
in
Deal,
renewable energy.
Abdul.
This far-left Democrat who's trying to rebrand just got exposed by his old tweets resurfacing. Hey guys, welcome back to Brad versus Everyone, your home for independent and nonpartisan commentary and analysis on politics, media, internet insanity, and more. We are going to check in with the far-left Senate candidate in Michigan, Abdul El-Sayed, who secured the Democratic Party's nomination and is a controversial guy. He's going against kind of establishment MAGA Republican Mike Rogers in November, and he just did a big Fox News interview. We already talked about parts of it with Jesse Waters, where he started talking about circumcision to try to defend transitioning gender confused minors and other stuff. But there was one moment that flew a little bit under the radar, but is getting renewed scrutiny now because people have dug up Abdul El-Sayed's old deleted tweets that just directly contradict everything he's trying to say now in one of the most audacious gaslighting flip-flops I've seen in a minute. And in our current political era, that's certainly saying something. So here is this relevant portion of the interview with Fox News with Jesse Waters, where Abdul El-Sayed tries to pretend that he's not a supporter of the Green New Deal, which is this ultra climate change far left agenda that would attempt to phase out fossil fuels entirely and overhaul the entire economy and society, that was pushed by the likes of AOC and Ed Markey and others several years ago. Well, Abdul El-Sayed in this interview said, I'm not here to defend the Green New Deal. And then his old tweets say something very, very different. Let's watch the clip.
You
Also,
want to
we can
get
talk about
rid of the
actual war in
internal
Iran that's raising our
combustion
gas
engines.
prices. No, I don't. Who told you that?
That's what the Green
My
New
dad
Deal
came to America
says.
to design internal combustion engines. No, that's
The
not
Green
what
New Deal says phase out
it says that
fossil
we could
fuels.
build renewable energy opportunities. Look, I'm not going to defend the Green New Deal. What I'm telling you, though, is that we could make a whole
You're
lot
on the
more
record
amazing
as
jobs if we
backing
actually
the Green
invested in
New Deal,
renewable energy.
Abdul.
Look, I'm just telling you this. Are you opposed to the idea that we could reduce energy costs and create jobs in Michigan?
Absolutely, but I don't want windmills in Lake Michigan.
So you're absolutely opposed to that?
Yeah, I don't want to
So
put
you'd rather have a
windmills in
pipeline
Lake Michigan,
than you'd
do
rather have
you?
windmills.
I don't think the people in
Well, I don't
Michigan
want a
want that,
pipeline in Lake
Abdul.
Michigan, and right now we
If
have
you're
one of
running
those.
on that, that's not
No,
going to
Jesse,
go
look,
over
we
too
have
well.
a pipeline. No.
Oh boy. So he's now claiming, I'm not here to defend the Green New Deal, because he's running in Michigan, which is kind of a blue state, but did go for Trump, and it is not down with the green revolution of a socialist, abolish fossil fuels and gasoline powered cars revolution. And so he's suddenly pretending I'm not a Green New Deal person, but he absolutely is and was. So deleted tweets have now been resurfaced from Abdul El-Sayed's account. Here's one from 2019 where he cleared up any ambiguity we might have about this. I believe in a Green New Deal, all caps, period. I believe in a Green New Deal, all caps, period. 5 times in a row, hashtag global climate strike. So that one is pretty vague. It's pretty ambiguous. We don't... Just kidding. It's not at all. This guy, when this was all going down, enthusiastically endorsed the Green New Deal, which advocated for tens of trillions of dollars of new government spending, of a total overhaul, of getting rid of fossil fuels, of changing all American life at its very core, and all sorts of expansions of government and all sorts of stuff that was kind of only tangentially even related to the environment. He was all in. And now, suddenly he wants to pretend he never supported the Green New Deal. Well, it was, to be fair to him, it was just that one tweet. It's not like he said this over and over. Oh, wait, you thought. Here are some more of his old posts. From 2018, the hashtag Green New Deal isn't just about solving the global level climate change emergency, although that would be enough. It's also about solving asthma and underemployment in local communities like Detroit. And then actually it links to him at the Sanders Institute from Bernie Sanders, where he talked about the Green New Deal. I love this idea that if we just do enough green flavored socialism, we'll abolish asthma. Yeah, the federal jobs guarantee will and Medicare for all will really get rid of asthma. Anyway, another tweet from Abdul El-Sayed. The Green New Deal is about far more than saving polar bears and ice caps. It's about standing up to corporations who have used and abused our democracy for too long. More from 2019. Rather than announcing the next iteration of this or that car at this conference, I'd love to see automakers announce that they support the Green New Deal. Oh my gosh. Also, he posted one in 2019 that says, your policy horoscope, Aries, Green New Deal, Taurus, Green New Deal, Gemini, Green New Deal, Cancer, Green New Deal, and so on and so on. Is Michigan about to elect a far-left senator? That's what everyone's wondering as the race between Democratic nominee Abdul El-Sayed and Republican nominee Mike Rogers heats up heading into November. And according to our channel partners at Kalshi, people think there's a 62% chance that Abdul El-Sayed will win in November, and Mike Rogers has just a 38% chance. A far-left Democrat winning in a state that Trump won in 2024 would be a big win for the far left. Anyway, Kalshi is the first CFTC-regulated exchange dedicated to trading on the outcome of future events. If you want to check out their politics prediction markets or all the other amazing prediction markets they've got, just go ahead and download Kalshi now or click the link in the description and use code BRADP when you sign up to get $20 free to trade when you trade $20 now. You know, I could get over the part where he supports the chemical castration of gender-confused minors, but the horoscopes is too far for me, bro. That's too far. I joke, of course, but I just can't, I really can't abide by this or stand for this. These people who were super far left, were super extreme, and then just want to gaslight us and pretend they never were. Like, if you've really changed your views and you want to, on the record, recant and explain why you were totally wrong, why we're not going to get rid of fossil fuels, and why you do still support their usage, and why you don't support the biggest and most controversial and most expensive aspects of the Green New Deal, okay, let's have the conversation. Now, some people might think that because you ever signed on to such an absurd and extreme agenda that you're kind of permanently disqualified, but maybe some people are willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and hear you out as to whether your views have changed and evolved. Maybe, but what you can't do, I mean, they can try, but I'm not going to stand for it for even a second, is just pretend that like all of recorded political memory never happened, which they keep doing. They just keep pretending that like all their public statements and all their years longs of advocacy from this like ultra left woke era don't exist, and they can just rebrand. It's insane. It's like what AOC is trying to do. Pretend that she never tweeted about abolishing police and just say, haha, woke one was crazy. Actually, no, you don't get to do that. You don't get to lie in our face and gaslight us. And obviously, Republican operatives are keeping receipts, just the same way Democratic operatives do to Republicans, and they're going to call you out on this. So, Abdul, this is already, especially with Michigan being a very big automotive state where people don't want to only have EVs and abolish, gas-powered vehicles and all of this crazy stuff that's so unrealistic and frankly would barely change the trajectory of global climate change anyway. All this stuff is already being made into attack ads for Mike Rogers. And so it's really just the unique level of baggage and radicalism associated with Abdul El-Sayed is the only reason this race is even competitive. Really. I mean, I don't think if it was a generic Democrat without all this controversy and this crazy history and stuff, I think Mike Rogers would be comfortably behind, but instead it's neck and neck. And who knows, he could pull it off. The headwinds really are behind the Democrats going into the midterms, so Abdul might win anyway, but this kind of thing is really going to hurt him, and there's so much there. We're only just scratching the surface. But what he's doing is lashing out because he keeps getting basically held accountable or asked about by media and attack ads against him for Hassan Piker, the far left extremist streamer who just recently went viral yet again for mocking the death of Charlie Kirk on stage. Well, Abdul is sick of getting asked about him and getting blamed for the things that he did, even though he chose to campaign with him and bring him on stage to get his support. So anyway, let's watch Abdul discussing this and let's see if he's really being so horrifically victimized as he claims. Let's watch.
I think for a lot of us who've been watching politics over the last 10 years, frankly, before that, there's always this question of like, how or why are people so angry at all of it? And I think it's because too often when you hear about politics, you hear politics covered as sport, right? Like Hassan Piker is a streamer in California. You would think if you turned on any media that this whole campaign is about a streamer in California. That's not what this campaign has ever been about. This campaign has always been about the ability to afford your groceries in Michigan, the ability to send your kid to a good school in Michigan, the ability to see a doctor in Michigan. Those are the questions I'm interested in answering and asking. So that's what we've been doing across this campaign. And so, you know, I'm less interested in going to the sort of like tabloid version of our politics where we cover this as like, oh, who's in, who's out, who's up, who's down, who's talking to who. And I'm a lot more interested in talking to the people in the state who've had a bum deal because of Donald Trump and the politics that Mike Rogers has been the epitome of for a very long time.
So this is hilarious to me because he is complaining that he keeps getting asked about Hassan Piker. And he's like, this election is not about some streamer in California. And it's like, dude, you're the one that brought him out on the campaign trail with you, had him headline your events, and made him a key part of your campaign. You brought the dude who said America deserved 9/11 to campaign with you, and now you're mad that your campaign is like tarred by that association and people keep asking you about him. So sorry, you're getting the attention you ordered or the inevitable consequences of your own actions. I could actually have some sympathy for random Democrats who are being blamed for the actions and insane statements of Hassan Piker, even if they've disavowed him and they keep getting asked about this. I could understand why they would find that annoying. You don't get to find that annoying. You brought him on the campaign trail with you and had him endorse you on stage. So yes, that's a little more than just, oh, I went on his stream once to talk to his audience. That's you affirmatively embracing one of the most radical and divisive figures in American life today, and then whining about the fact that the media keeps asking you about it, or therefore holding you to account for the insane things he says or does. Sorry, Abdul, your victim card has been declined. And if you didn't want to distract from your race by bringing in one of the most toxic celebrities in American politics today, then a great way to avoid that would have been to not bring him in to your campaign and campaign with him to get his clout to win the primary. But what you're not going to do is benefit from that. And then just when the general election is around and now you don't need him anymore because you're not appealing to the progressive base, but rather the middle and normal Michigander voters, act like you, Hassan Piker? Who's that? I never heard of Hassan Piker. That's called gaslighting, sir, and it is not going to fly. Unfortunately, listen, the election is going to be about a lot more than Hassan Piker, but you're going to continue to be dogged by questions about that affiliation and association, especially because Hassan seems determined to make life as difficult as possible for the Democrats he's campaigned with by doing gratuitously extreme and unnecessary shit, like dancing on the grave of Charlie Kirk on stage for no reason right after you've campaigned with all these candidates. I'd be so pissed if I was them and I just brought this guy in and he acted like he wanted me to win, and then he just goes and acts with reckless disregard for the fact that his actions are going to have blowback on the candidates he's just wrapped his arms around. But you know what? You know who's not a victim here? Abdul El-Sayed, because he brought this 1,000% upon himself through his own horrific decision to ever affiliate with and bring someone in on his campaign trail that is so repulsive and extreme. Well, now you get to deal with the consequences of that. Too bad, so sad. And by the way, you still support the Green New Deal. So be honest about that too while you're at it. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the latest in the Michigan Senate race with Abdul El-Sayed. You guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you aren't yet. Do consider becoming a channel member here on YouTube. It's the best way to support my work. And with that, guys, we'll leave it there for this one and be back with more real soon.